Well, gather round, folks, it's time for a tale. A touring mic here, Tyson's on the trail in the heart of the woods where legends prevail. Today's episode, Bigfoot's unveiled. The king of the cryptids, or maybe a queen, roaming the forest, rarely seen. From the hills and hollers where shadows lean, we're diving deep into Bigfoot scene. Welcome to the FullGrownPizza podcast. Conspiracies brew, legends outlast, cryptids and mysteries, stories so vast. Today we talk Bigfoot, the lore unsurpassed. So pull up a chair, let the stories ignite. From the eerie and strange to the edge of night, this is the podcast, shedding some light, revealing Bigfoot in the pale moonlight.
All right, we are live. Welcome to the FullGrownPizza podcast, episode 16. This is going to be on Bigfoot. We're going to be talking just kind of the general overview of Bigfoot. I know most of us already know Bigfoot. Man, I was really quiet when I was doing the sound check, and now I'm really loud. So let me turn myself down a little bit. Okay. So we're going to be talking about Bigfoot. Now, most of us know about Bigfoot. I'm going to be the one hosting it, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on, like, what is Bigfoot and all that stuff, and go into all these different stories about Bigfoot, because there's really one big story that most of us know about, which is the Patterson-Gimlin film that was 1967. That's the famous, the famous one. I'll show you a picture. Got this off of Wikipedia, but this is a screen grab from the Patterson-Gimlin film of essentially.
Oh, shit.
I know, there he is. It's him.
Look at the layout. Fucking.
Oh, I know.
awesome.
Yeah, it's cool, huh? I like that. So yeah, I made this today. So let us know in the comments if you like my little layout thing. Cool. Anyways, that's one.
I'm gonna comment right now. That's
Oh
a
my
cool
god!
layout you made there.
Comment right now. Actually, do it right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
They won't let me comment.
yeah. So anyways, it's called the Patterson-Gimlin film. Is based on the two people that were there when they shot it. And essentially in 1967, they were in Bluff Creek, California. It was Roger Patterson and Bob Gimlin. They were out riding their horses in the area when they saw essentially Bigfoot. As you can tell, Bigfoot, he's famous for being a giant bipedal, hairy, humanoid creature, cryptid. So I wanted to go into today, not diving, super deep into all that stuff, but I wanted to talk about what are some of the...
Actually, there's been some analyzing of this footage, and they think that is a female Bigfoot.
Yes, I have heard that, because it's got boobies. Yep.
Yes.
And so...
Man can tell boobies from a distance. They're like, yeah, that's boobies.
Yeah, we know.
We know
They
boobies when we see them.
They basically just got Jim Bob off his couch with his beer and was like, hey, tell me what you see when you see this picture. And he's like, boobies.
Boobies.
So, anyways, yeah. They actually
what do you
call...
see when you see piles of sand? Boobies.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of fitting because the creature's actually often referred to as Patty now. So it's just kind of a female name anyways, so it works.
That's a male name too. That's why it says Pat is
Pat.
androgynous.
Yeah, but when you say Patty, it's kind of more like, I don't know. I think of that as a female.
It's
thing,
like Sam and Sammy. They're both male and female.
That's fair, I guess. You're not wrong. I guess it could be either. So,
Also, I like insect names. They're my favorite.
but then I want to talk about some of the criticisms because I've struggled with this personally. Like, I don't know if I really believe in Bigfoot or not because some of the criticisms are, pretty strong. Like, why are there no bones? Why are there no remains? Why are the sightings so like sporadic? And why is all the footage terrible? And why is everything?
Yes.
Why does everything?
I hear
suck?
that a lot, and then I hear a lot of like, well, when's the last time you went into the forest and found bear bones?
That's true.
You know, bears exist, but you never find their bones either.
But we found them
if you found
enough.
A bare body, you could go back and kill somebody to it.
We found them enough, and we see them enough that we know bears exist.
Are on the outside of the forest when the Bigfoots are on the deep, fucking dark end of the forest.
I think bears pretty much go wherever they want. So
that is kind of part of it too. Is it's like that's part of kind of the response to some of these criticisms. Is well, you got to think like how deep into the forest do they actually live? How often are they going out of, where they're at? Are they in caves and stuff? How often do they come out?
And that's one thing going for the Bigfoot is that the size of the forest are so big that there's so much area they can hide in, and they
right. But then the critique of that is like, yeah, but you need to have a certain amount of Bigfoot to maintain a population and keep them going. And then if you have enough Bigfoot and they're really that big, then why don't we see them more often? Why don't we have remains?
There's
especially
also
if they've been around for
evidence
so long.
Of the I think it's an elephant that they just discovered 10 years ago that's been living in the forest in India because it's so dense there that they haven't found a fucking elephant.
That is true. So yeah, when I'm doing my research and stuff into this episode, there are pretty good examples of large creatures that we don't find out about for a long time. But
or what about the world's biggest cave that wasn't discovered until in the 90s?
That's a good point, but I think the challenge to that is that a lot of those big creatures that lived in those areas, they're not around today in those areas, right? At least not to my knowledge. Typically we're finding things that did live in that area but don't necessarily live there now.
But then you gotta think about this. A bear, well, most bears, they stay away from humans.
Yeah.
Except for female bears, because they know that male bears stay away from humans, so they hang around humans more often when they have cubs.
Yeah.
That's why they make them most dangerous. But you think the bear like that, but then you think of Sasquatch or Bigfoot, and we assume that they are intelligent, so they know to stay away from humans, and they can know when humans are coming, because we're loud as fuck walking through the fucking forest.
Yeah.
So
well, I do in some of the theories that we have, we're going to get into some crazy weird theories and stuff later because we've already talked a little bit about Bigfoot in other episodes and we've come up with some weird crazy theories. So I'm excited to kind of get into that, especially because I came up with one earlier today that I was like, oh my God, what if, what if that? And so I'm excited to get into that.
Burrito Supremes from Taco Bell.
Oh my God, I wish. That'd be cool.
That would make a really good shirt, don't you guys think?
Well, could you imagine if Taco Bell CEO, he's watching this, he's like, oh my God, we got to use Sasquatch as a marketing thing now. Oh,
they got to fight that jerky place that has them already.
I mean,
there's also Manscaped or that fucking Dr. Sasquatch.
Oh my God,
using them too.
That's true. I mean, you got them, and then
I guess that means he doesn't really have a fucking copyright on him, so they can just do it.
Not the idea of Bigfoot. No one's copyright. As far as I know, I don't know if you can copyright the idea of Bigfoot. If so, whoever the Bigfoot overlords are, we give credit to you for this.
I mean,
episode.
if he can copyright Bigfoot, that means he can copyright Ghost and Loch Ness Monster. I guess Loch Ness has kind of a copyright on it because it's Loch Ness.
Yeah. Well, we should do some digging into that so we can make money off of it.
Yes,
okay.
Obviously. We're all in this just for the money. We don't really care about these fucking conspiracies, guys.
Exactly. We're all in it for the money and our donors and our shareholders.
Money.
We don't have any of.
Bring up our buy us coffee link real quick.
So, anyways, there
Hey,
is some
why isn't our
like,
buy us coffee on the fucking link?
yeah, I need to get those links actually sent to me so I can put them in the description.
Oh, yeah,
But
you
okay.
bring that up.
I don't have those. So, anyways, but some of the responses to like, the critiques and stuff that we made is like, okay, yeah, there's a lack of evidence, but there's also a lack of people looking for the evidence. Like all the stories that we hear and the stories that we see are just like randos out in the forest that happen to catch something on their camera or whatever. And it's like, okay, well, how do you can't really expect like the best physical evidence if you don't have people actually looking for the best physical evidence. And there's a lot of, I feel like a lot of the critique about Bigfoot comes prior to any research. It's just like conceptually, the idea of Bigfoot is a tough pill to swallow because of all the things that we just mentioned. But at the same time, if we're talking about an intelligent creature, like you mentioned, if it's intelligent and it's actually, aware of us and everything, and it knows how to hide and stay safe, and it knows what times to come out, and maybe has good hearing, it can hear us, and it knows where
Yeah,
we're
I
at
heard
and
it's like
stuff. Like,
nocturnal, so that's
yeah,
why.
maybe
Yeah.
it's nocturnal. I mean, there's a lot of reasons as to why we may not see these things, and who knows, maybe they have some kind of cultural thing amongst themselves where they pick up the bones or the remains of their bodies. Maybe they dispose of them in a certain way or something. Like, who knows? I mean, you got to think like early humans, they buried their dead and stuff too. Like, they still did things like that. So it's not completely out of the realm of possibility where,
There's like this I was gonna show it, but I forgot about it. But it was like I watched one of the TikTok videos, and it's basically like this case of somebody in like they had like a cabin, and they kept on hearing these strange noises at night, and so they like kind of like they left it, but then they came back with their friends and they heard it too, so they record it, and it just sounds like people talking, but it's uncanny valley type people talking, and they say it's fucking Bigfoot just mimicking people
really,
around them.
huh? That
Yeah,
could be cool. That would be fun to
and
hear.
there's
Like, I would want to hear
also like
that.
a fun theory is that like Neanderthals when they evolved they split up and became Homo sapiens, and the other one went to fucking Bigfoots,
Right.
and Bigfoots are actually protected by the government, and that's why they keep on burying all their shit about them
Yeah, I
because they don't
kind
want
of
people
want
fucking.
to. I had a thought about the government and how they might be connected with Bigfoot. That's one of the theories I
Yes,
wanted to
because
talk
like
about.
I remember like I used to watch Bigfoot shit all the time, especially when I was eating because it was like my dinner fucking shit. You
Yeah,
remember macaroni and cheese and Bigfoot,
yeah, that
right?
was the
Yeah,
best. You'd
yeah,
switch on a freaking History Channel or whatever it was with the Bigfoot
yeah.
shows and just
But
play that while we eat mac and
anyways,
cheese.
it was this guy. It was like basically in search of
Hmm.
Bigfoot. Basically, is was the show I think it was called.
Yeah.
But he was talking about how he was like one time he was like it was like at like season two, the start of season two. He said like he was at a gas station and like a military guy came up to him. He's like, "Hey, you got the guy with that Bigfoot show?" And he's like, "Oh yeah." And he's like,
Hmm.
"Well, when I was in Wash Station in Washington, I was stationed around the forest, and the fucking brass basically told us like." There's a chance you might encounter a Bigfoot in the woods, and they are extremely dangerous. And it's
Really?
like, yeah. So it's just like there's a chance that the government does know about Bigfoots, and they know they're dangerous, and they're just trying to keep them fucking away from people.
They
For here, if
probably.
you go
I
to
mean,
talk to a lot of rangers, like forest rangers, they have stories about Bigfoot too.
Oh man, I
Yeah.
love forest ranger stories. They all have so many fucking creepy ass
They
stories.
see a lot of weird stuff out there. They say so.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
especially in the Appalachia fucking mountains.
that is good evidence for it too, I feel like, because there's lots of cultures and lots of groups of people and stuff, especially in North America, that report seeing them. It's not just like, modern day people. You've got the indigenous tribes, you've got the rangers and stuff. You've got people that are all sorts of different people from different walks of life. So it's not, you can't just break it down to, oh, they're all hoaxes, because a lot of these people
Yeah,
don't have any vested interest in really,
and there's
hoaxing it.
an animal that existed that was like Bigfoot before. Who knows? Maybe there's some kind of population still existing somewhere that
Right.
Gigantopithecus, you know, that like
Yeah.
9-foot
That was
gorilla
like
that's stood on its hind legs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So there's some kind of animal
And
that
there's
could
like
be Bigfoot, but it could be just
it's,
us having ancestral memory of Bigfoot when we used to be afraid of like Gigantopithecus or
Sure.
maybe even Neanderthals coming after us in the night and stuff like that because they probably have better night vision than us and stuff like that.
that's what
So
they said. Like that's where
they
the
said Neanderthals
uncanny
used to hunt humans. So
that's where the uncanny valley fucking, because if you notice something that doesn't look right, it looks human but it doesn't look exactly right, that's why you got the fear of the uncanny valley, because
That
that's
makes
what they
sense.
were.
yeah,
And basically old Bigfoot lore is basically what orcs basically are in fact or fantasy. Like
Right.
if you think of like Bigfoot, they're basically orcs, like
Pretty
real life
much, yeah.
orcs.
Yeah, that's
that's
Like
why we got
giant
that
monster strength and
ancestral
stuff.
fear of the dark is because like cats and like a Gigantopithecus and like other creatures that could see better at night would come and hunt us at night. So
Yeah,
that's why
they're
kids are
they're nocturnal, like we
ancestrally-
said.
Yeah, they're scared of the dark and they're scared of stuff under their bed because that's usually where they got eaten. So
yeah.
it's instinctive now.
And then there's the theory that they can emit a call that makes people sick and like literally like slows them down. And for some reason, when I talked about that in the past, you guys attributed to them having diarrhea.
Well, I mean,
It's a
that
brown
would
tone.
that
It's
would
a
stop
the
you.
brown
tone.
town.
Would that not
That
stop
would
you in
stop
your
me.
tracks?
It
Be
has-
like,
right after
it
that. So
Oh,
has
dear.
stopped me in my
oh
tracks.
man.
Like I like used to walk with Michael in the morning, and we would walk, and it was like I remember one time we were walking, and like not even like 5 minutes, and I'm like, I gotta go home.
we gotta go now.
No, I just went home.
Yeah.
I was just like, I gotta go home, and I gotta squeeze my cheeks because
Yeah. I mean,
Bigfoot's calling.
that is not
Look,
a good feeling when you're
here's-
walking around. And
here's
you
the
gotta take
thing, like,
a shit.
that was just like a normal occurrence. Like that just happened for you. But
Yeah.
if something was actually like causing a sound or willing something like that to happen to you, like I'm sure it would be way worse on a whole different level. Like
This is based on sound theory again. There's like Bigfoot
I
can
mean-
emit a frequency that turns all your solid waste in your bowels into liquid.
It's
and
probably-
instant diarrhea.
whatever resonant frequency that like resonates with your bowel movement or something and relaxes those muscles, like, and just lets it all come out. Like that's probably what's happening there.
Like, you
Scientific.
lose bodily control of your bowels and just
Yeah.
let go. And, oh man.
That's what I told Michael when we were walking. I was like, "Give me the house key."
What are you-
Bigfoot's calling. He's like, "Oh, you better hurry."
Do you think that's something that they like figured out, or do you think that's something that frequency does something different to them, to the Bigfoot species, and so that's why, you know, that's
I
that's
think
why
it's
it
pure
is the way it is.
self-defense measure. You know, they're like, get away from me.
I feel like
Yeah.
You gotta
maybe
And
it's
it's
like a
just-
self-defense measure, but it also like kind of evolved into like a human hunting measure.
Yeah, so
Maybe
it,
that's why there's not that many reports of Bigfoot, because they've been
That'd be
eating
terrible
the
when you're
people.
running away from Bigfoot and all of a sudden you shit yourself and then you're getting eaten. You're like, oh, they can't get any worse. And oh shit, I'm getting eaten by Bigfoot.
I can only imagine Bigfoot eats like a fucking bear too. He just fucking
I
pins you
mean-
down and starts going at it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the thing though, like, would you rather have to deal with the embarrassment of shitting your pants and like having to walk through a whole forest and like go find your camp of people or whatever, or just get eaten by Bigfoot? Like, I don't know.
I'd rather shit myself.
Guess
than
what?
get
Either way, you're gonna fucking shit your pants. You're
eaten.
gonna
Either way,
get
you're
shit
having a
your
bad day,
pants,
so.
or you're gonna shit your pants and be alive and say like, "Hey, yeah, Bigfoot fucking scared the shit out of me."
You'd have to
Literally.
You'd have to slosh through the forest with your shit pants, like the whole until you get back to your
I bet
camp.
that makes you easy to track down too. He's got a
Oh,
lighter shit
man.
following
Oh,
you.
not if you have the poo pants from Tim and Eric. You'd be fine.
Oh yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay.
It's not for solid waste.
Maybe that's how Sasquatch tracks you down and make you shit yourself and then follow you by your
Yeah.
trail.
Yeah,
Shit.
yeah.
Or that's how they stay away from you. They do the sound. They know you shit your pants. They can smell you. They stay away. You know?
That's why people don't hunt them, because they know that they're gonna fucking have diarrhea.
Yeah. It's like, I don't want to. You have to make sure you have a very good bowel movement before you go out, and you don't eat anything. And
Yeah, just all liquid diet, so you just urinate the whole time.
yeah, exactly. Okay, well, one of the things, like one of the strong pieces of evidence for Bigfoot, and one of the things that actually kind of sways me over to that side, is the casts of the footprints. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen any of these or not. and there's one. Let's see, this is from
Of course, I've seen it.
the
I watch
North.
Bigfoot shows.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Nice
audience
transition.
people, yeah. And so the God, what are they called? The North American Bigfoot whatever museum or something like that. There's actually a place, and I got this from their website. So thank you for
I
that.
will look it up.
But yeah, I forgot to write it down.
North
The place, but
American
actually-
Bigfoot, whatever.
yeah, North American Bigfoot, whatever. North American
American
Bigfoot Center.
Bigfoot Center.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyways, this is a picture off their website, but so a lot of these footprints, when they see footprints and stuff, they've taken these casts of them, and it's actually really good evidence because a lot of people kind of brush this off as like, a hoax or they just made it up. There's a lot of good reasons to believe that it's not, and they have actually been analyzed pretty thoroughly by different experts and stuff. And so a lot of these footprint casts are pretty anatomical. They've got things like dermal ridges, which is similar to footprints, and so or fingerprints, sorry, and the mid-tarsal breaks, which is like the flexibility in the middle of the foot, and different toe positions and stuff. A lot of that stuff is like naturally occurring in a foot. Like that's not something that somebody would be able to hoax very well, and it would take a long time, and you'd have to be very well educated in biological, anatomical realities of feet and stuff.
Heard about is that if you look, you usually see like the arch. You see like when a human footstep, there's usually the heel and like the pad underneath the toes that show up prominent. But this one has like the whole foot because there's so much weight behind it because it's a large animal that had to put that in. So it's not like a human footprint because you gotta have to put a lot. There's somebody. If it was a human footprint, they had a whole bunch of weight on top of them to make that footprint that fucking deep and
to make it that
put
deep.
that much. Yeah.
Well, and then
ridge,
other people will say like, "Oh, it's just like a bear track," and like bare feet don't look like that. Sorry, like
not a
it
bear.
does
The
not.
footprints are interesting, but the thing that muddies that up is there was a guy that went around and just did footprints all over the place just to fool people, and so it kind of makes
that's
Yeah,
because
but
there are people that
that's-
want to make money, like the guy that's trying to sell the Fresno pants.
Right, but I know those guys. Wow, terrible. No, but like
No,
that's
not us. We're cool.
Yeah,
I'm talking about the guy who actually started the Fresno fade with
yeah. No, but like that is kind of one of the things. There are a lot of fake footprint casts. Like, don't get me wrong, there are a lot of fake ones, but there are a lot of ones that actually have been
sometimes I find them,
analyzed.
like with hair and them and stuff
See,
like
that's
that.
what's the hard thing about cryptids in general is like for every like one piece of evidence that's probably really true, there's at least like 100 that has been faked.
Exactly.
People just want to fucking ride that train
too. So
Exactly. And that is part of the problem.
Crazy and going to muddy the waters. So
right, and that is part of the problem is like just the fact that there are so many hoaxes, compared to the ones that aren't, or the ones that are
really like muddies the water.
Yeah,
So
it muddies the water, and it leads to this perception that it's not worthy of actual investigation or pursuit.
like what you were saying, we should have a scientific endeavor though.
Yeah, we don't really have any scientific like field or research team or dedicated like industry or whatever that's actually researching this. We don't really have that. You've got one-offs here and there of scientists that are looking into stuff. Like we've got let's see, and part of the footprint stuff, there's a Dr. Grover Krantz and a Dr. Jeff Meldrum who've done pretty extensive analysis on supporting the authenticity of some of these casts, but there's not really a whole lot of people out there doing that. And so,
Sasquatch is kind of considered almost like UFOs was like 10 years ago. When
exactly.
you start talking about UFO, people just start rolling their eyes and thinking you're crazy. So
yeah, they don't take it seriously.
But everybody's taking it a lot more serious nowadays, so why can't we take Sasquatch more seriously or Bigfoot,
Yeah, and so I think we should. And I was planning on talking about this later, but I think we might as well now because we kind of brought it up. But I want to talk about some of the benefits of like Bigfoot research. I asked ChatGPT, I was like, why would we actually research into this? What benefits actually are there for discovering Oh, Bigfoot exists.
Possible missing link.
You know?
He's a possible missing link for our fucking ancestry.
Yeah, that's
or
possible.
even like a fucking branch off
Maybe
our
they have
ancestry.
ancient lore that they passed down through generations. They could teach us a lot about the past, you know. About,
I mean, it could.
That's another thing about Bigfoot is that he also shows up in ancient Native American lore too.
Yeah. And I think, look, if we were to find out that some like giant natural bipedal creature existed in an ecosystem where we generally didn't think that it could exist because of all the reasons we had mentioned before, like that's going to really enhance our understanding of ecosystems, right? Like we're gonna understand, like, okay, maybe we're looking at things all wrong. Maybe we're looking at ecosystems in a flawed way that gave us a blind spot to some of these bigger creatures and whatnot. Plus, just taking on this endeavor is going to inherently lead to improved research techniques, because you've got all these people from different fields and stuff trying to go for this certain goal that no one's been able to figure it out before. So we're going to have to develop new ways of thinking, new technologies, new disciplines, whatever, to try and really tackle all this stuff in a serious way. So increasing our understanding of ecosystems and research techniques and whatnot. But also like cultural significance. Like, I mean, just think, like, Bigfoot has so much cultural significance in society. Like, there's all these shows and books and stories, and it's a legend that has really spread across the whole continent of North America, and even out of North America
too, like China.
Yeah. I mean, it's in the other parts of the world too. So
So I was like saying, like, there doesn't seem to be like only one certain species of Bigfoot, because you have the white-haired ones, the Yetis, and then you have the red-haired ones, you have brown-haired ones, you have black-haired ones that are in the south, the skunk apes and stuff.
Yeah.
They all stink, though, apparently.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you haven't had a shower in your whole life, I mean, you're gonna smell pretty bad. But no, and so I think that is kind of one of the things too with the footprint evidence, or the footprint cast evidence too, is that there are good footprint casts from different areas of the world too. It's not just in one location in in North America, or one location here, or whatever. It's everywhere, and unless you're having some like biologist who's really educated in all this stuff going out there and spending all day making a fake cast, like, I feel like it's pretty good evidence. But so anyways, I think there are some actual benefits for having like Bigfoot research. And then not only that, but the whole psychological aspect of you have a lot of people that just write it off, like we talked about. Like, we're just writing off these beliefs and these these myths and legends and these cryptid stories and whatnot.
Yeah.
And this opportunity, I think it could be like a breaking point in society where we say, okay, maybe we need to open our minds a little bit and not think that we have everything figured out. And that could lead to a whole slew of other research opportunities too, because there are a lot of, I mean, if you look back in history, a lot of the big scientific breakthroughs are usually like a group of scientists that kind of went against the grain a little bit, or they thought about something, they decided to pursue a hypothesis that other people just thought, whatever, or it was
outside the box.
Yeah, it's that outside of the box thinking. And I think if we were to discover something about Bigfoot, then that could lead to like a holy crap, that's a big thing that everybody just wrote off in the scientific community. So that could really open people's minds to what else is there to discover, and really like those points in history where it's like exploration and discovery and like all that stuff. We don't really have that anymore, right? Like there's no explorers like traveling the world looking for new landmass and whatnot, which is understandable because we have most of the land mass on the planet mapped out as far as we're aware. But
not the center of Antarctica.
There you
the
go.
Entrance to the hollow earth.
But
I've seen Godzilla.
You're not wrong. Godzilla's just hiding out over there.
King Kong's
He's like,
coming.
man, come on, guys, get over here already.
I'm asleep here.
No, but like it's that mentality of like we're going to discover things and we're going to find, explore, and this big like idea of we're going to be not just learning something new in my field of biology or whatever in chemistry or something. It's like we're actually going to discover something. Like I feel like that is kind of missing nowadays because we're so smart and we feel like we have everything figured out. So anyways, I think it could also lead to that. So then I asked naturally, okay, if we were to take this seriously, like how much would it cost like on an annual basis to really dive deep and research Bigfoot? So I asked ChatGPT, I was like, okay, if you're going to seriously, take this seriously and we're going to put a research team together and we're going to really study this, what would the annual cost come out to be? So in terms of personnel, you'd have 2 to 3 principal investigators, which are like experts. They'd make about $100,000 each is what you'd have to pay them. You'd have 5 to 10 field researchers.
How do I become a research expert?
I know. How do I become a principal investigator of Bigfoot?
Bigfoot.
What is your Bigfoot experience? I used to watch a lot of shows while I was eating macaroni and cheese.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, man!
It's like, oh,
You look like you ate a lot of macaroni and cheese. Look how white you are.
yeah. You've watched a lot of shows. You've watched a lot of shows. I can tell.
Yeah.
So, um, and so, yeah, you got principal investigators, you got field researchers, which is like 5 to 10. They make about $60,000 each. You got the support staff, which technicians, data analysts, all that stuff. And if you had, 5 of those at $50,000 each, total personnel is going to be about 850 to 1.15 million for just the personnel. And then you've got the equipment and supplies, which is cameras and audio recorders, drones, and GPS, thermal imaging devices, all that stuff. You've got, so estimated cost would be 200 to 300,000 for that. Laboratory equipment, general supplies. Ultimately, the total cost of the equipment and supplies, it says it comes out at about 4 to 650K. You've got the travel costs and the field work and all that, which totals out to 250 to 350K for everybody. The data analysis and the publication of everything comes out to about 150 to 250K. And then other miscellaneous costs and stuff to cover equipment repairs and unexpected expenses, emergencies, they calculate that at about 150 to 250K as well. So ultimately, we're looking at like a lower estimate on an annual basis of 1.8 million and an upper estimate of 2.65 million for a year of really diving deep and studying Bigfoot. But then who knows if you're going to find anything in that 1 year, Are you going to really, how many years is it going to take? So I think, as much as we kind of shit on the idea of like, man, nobody's really digging into this. It's like, it's a lot of money to, if we're just looking at what ChatGPT says. And
Why the government loses more of that
and,
money to going to fucking
maybe
poor
they have
nations
some-
than that?
yeah, but you got to think like the government's not going to be. I don't know if the government's not going to fund this.
Go find that trillion that's missing and then add
Yeah.
subtract it from that.
Yeah.
Well, they found Bigfoot and they had some kind of herbal lore that we don't know about, and they gave somebody a medicine they sold for billions of dollars, and they made their money back right there.
Yeah, but that's a big risk. You're
That is a big risk,
taking a
but-
big risk, but there's also potential for big reward. I mean, think about, look, here's the thing, right?
Guys,
if you
find the brown note.
yes, there you go. We could end
Use that
war
during war.
because we just find the brown note and then
Yes.
boom, you just eliminate the whole. It's like watching
It's just America's just stop fighting or we'll make you shit your pants. Like, oh.
it's like watching a grappling match with somebody and then the one guy gets tickled and then it's like, okay, well, yeah, you kind of got him to stop submitting you, but you also tickled the guy. So it's like,
Is tickling not
worked.
allowed in UFC?
I don't think it is. I don't know if it is or not, but that doesn't happen very often. And so, like, or it's like, have you seen those videos on like social media where it's a dude who like takes off his shirt and he's like, "Oh, you want to fight or whatever?" And then the other guy takes off his shirt, and then the dude like drops his pants or whatever, and then the guy's like, okay, I'm not gonna fight. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Like we're done. It's like
Something like
one of those maneuvers. Except we would be using the brown note to eliminate armies of people.
Hey, less death.
Less death. It
All
works.
for it.
No, but I mean, so here's the thing. I mean, there are a lot of benefits though too, like we discussed, the things we already discussed. But think about this too. If you were the research team that discovered this stuff, and then you patent all of your research and your information, everybody that wants to make a show, a movie, a documentary, a book, whatever, and utilizing your stuff, utilizing your technology, utilizing whatever, your results, the videos that you capture, all that stuff, you're gonna have to license that stuff out. Everybody's gonna have to pay you to use that. You could make a lot of money from that too, and that's just from the licensing of your material. That's not saying, okay, and I want 10% of your revenue from this,
You could be like
show
the people
or
from last
whatever.
episode and write books. Like
Yeah.
3 books in your fucking set.
You could make the money up pretty quickly if you're the person, like, let's say you're a millionaire, because like we said, the government's probably not going to fund this type of thing. But if you're like a billionaire and you're like, you know what, I see all the value in actually discovering something, and I have strong enough belief that we will discover something with the right amount of people and personnel and all that stuff and equipment. And
It's basically that hunting Bigfoot is basically like being a treasure hunter.
yeah, it's like
You
being
put
a
it in the
treasure
time and
hunter.
Find that fucking treasure. You fucking
Yeah,
pays itself out.
exactly. And so, but then it also makes me think of the new owner of Skinwalker Ranch, because he's basically doing that too. He's like the most recent owner of Skinwalker Ranch. He has a series that came out on Netflix or whatever. I don't know if it's still on there, but he was like, yeah, I'm a freaking billionaire, and I'm really passionate about Skinwalker Ranch and all this stuff, and I think there's something to it, and I'm gonna have a freaking people go on there and actually research it all year long, and we're gonna make a show about it too. It's like, okay, he might not be making the money right now, but if you actually do discover some things, then there's potential for a lot of money to be made.
I feel like a good way to find Bigfoot, like super easy, it's going to be expensive, but it'd be pretty good, is you just get a whole bunch of drones with like heat sensors, and you just let's make them scan the whole forest, and you just look through the whole scan and be like, oh, there he is.
That
That giant
sounds
fucker right
reasonable.
there, that's fucking Bigfoot. Oh yeah, he's real.
Unless he lives in caves or something,
Yeah.
Or what if he's
Obviously.
a
A lizard person?
oh
Or maybe he's an alien.
what if he's an
interdimensional on
interdimensional
UFOs? So
yeah, what if he's a freaking alien prisoner that was shipped to a third world planet, like we talked about in one of
what
our
if he knows
other
how to
episodes?
do interdimensional travel?
yeah.
Maybe he knows how to do the brown tone. Maybe he can do another tone that opens up a warp rift or something. And he can just
I forgot
skip
about that.
dimensions.
We're basically the fucking jail of the fucking universe.
I know, if we're the jail of the universe and they're just dropping
nature
off their freaking people, but then like
It's funny. It's like it's like, all right, who put the fucking Homo sapiens with the Neanderthals? You know they can fucking mate. Look
Yeah.
at them. This fucking pop fucking littered with all these fucking humans now.
Right. I know. But it's funny. So I asked ChatGPT, like, okay, what if what merit is there to this hypothesis that they're interdimensional creatures? And it was like, actually, like that would explain pretty much everything, you know, if they were if they were interdimensional creatures, because then they could just flee and they don't. Like, it pretty much explains all the reason that there's no physical evidence.
ChatGPT, it's like, hey, if some of this guy had fucking magical powers, does that explain stuff? He's like, yeah.
Yeah, like,
Magical powers, yeah.
Yeah, it would. That makes sense. But obviously, there's no evidence for it. So it's like, but then how do you capture evidence for an interdimensional being?
Bigfoot is just a giant chaos wizard.
Even if you did, yeah, exactly. Actually, if you want to learn about chaos magic, we have a whole episode about chaos magic. Go check it out. And it's not
his own
portals, but yeah.
What?
No, remember? Yeah, watch the episode. You were there.
Oh,
how do you not know this?
I fell asleep halfway through. It was so boring.
Oh, really? Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah, and that's why you got the thing for your camera, so your eyes are always looking at the camera.
Yeah.
You're like,
My eyes are actually closed, but it looks like I'm fucking awake, staring at you.
Now I can go to sleep, but no. Yeah. And somehow you still talk. It like the AI just knows what you're gonna say.
Yeah, just an AI voice.
Yeah. Anyways, so okay, but earlier you mentioned the government and like the government not like telling people about Bigfoot, and or the government already knows.
Government
about Bigfoot
doesn't tell us about shack shit.
No, but it makes
That's
me
what
think,
this show's all about.
because like a few episodes ago we talked about the Men in Black, and it made me think like it would be really strange and awkward and weird if you saw like the Men in Black out walking out in the forest like doing alien shit, right? Like it would make more sense if you saw some creature out in the wild. And then I was thinking, okay, so if Bigfoot are aliens, then
Bigfoot
the aliens
is part of the Men
they're
in Black.
part of the Men in Black.
But he's an alien,
Like,
but he's like
exactly.
the nature reserve fucking
Exactly.
species.
Yeah, I get
He's
it.
like the nature department of freaking the Men in Black, because
The rural
you're not going to
department.
have Men in Black, like people in freaking black and white suits out in the forest doing their stuff. Like that's
Like,
not
we'll
going to
put you guys there. You're kind of like bears from a distance.
Yeah,
Just
they're
don't get
gonna-
any close to anybody.
Exactly. And so you can have all these hoaxes and you can have all these legends.
That's
and you
why
can have all
Patty
this
was
stuff.
so fast to get the fuck out of there. He's like, oh shit,
He's
they
like,
got
oh,
a camera.
fuck.
Fuck.
Fuck, they caught me.
I fucked up.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So what if Bigfoot is part of the Men in Black? And if you think about it this way, you know, if Bigfoot is some kind of interdimensional being, or if Bigfoot is an alien, the Men in Black are gonna know about him, right? They have
Exactly.
to. And
They're
so
like, we need an alien that'll be good in the forest. You guys know anybody?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like,
They're this hairy gorilla looking motherfucker.
Yeah. Dude,
They like to hang out in the forest.
I really
Yeah.
like that idea. I think that's pretty solid. Plus it goes to show like you know, that kind of explains why the government would be so hush hush about Bigfoot, right? They wouldn't
It's
want
like
people to know.
Like a
and-
prisoner exchange program. They're like, we'll take your bad guys, but they gotta behave.
yeah,
You
exactly.
didn't have them on the planet, but they gotta
I like
scout
the
out for
idea
us.
that they're like a
They're gonna
like
do
a
all the
primitive,
research out in the forest and all that stuff. that we need,
Neanderthal
and-
species that the government protects.
Yeah. So
I mean, not to shit on your fucking
no, but I mean, it's got to be Men in Black at that point, right?
Men in
I'm just
Black nature reserve fucking sector.
No, the government.
MIBN.
If the government
are-
was trying to protect
You-
Bigfoot, don't you think they would have like certain laws and stuff against that? Like, because right now it's kind of fair game. I mean, yeah, they've on their side, they've got the benefit of people thinking about Bigfoot as just some kind of myth or legend or whatever. And sure, that adds some protection for Bigfoot, but you also have all these people going out there like for shows and stuff that are like, we're going to capture Bigfoot and whatnot. So it's like, wouldn't it just be better to say, yes, Bigfoot
Maybe
exists,
it's like-
but if you touch one
maybe-
or you kill one, you're going to have to pay $1 million fine or something? Like,
Maybe like the Bigfoot thing is like they are aliens. And it's basically like what Mitch Hedberg's saying. He's like, I believe Bigfoot's just blurry. So maybe they're just like they always look blurry. That's why they can't get a good picture of them.
yeah, maybe they just are blurry. So
They're just
I don't
blurry
know.
in our dimension that they find in their dimension.
Maybe
They
that's
don't find
because
up
they're
here.
like interdimensional
They're
beings or
slightly off
whatever.
our dimension. They're not quite our speed, so maybe they seem blurry to us. They're hard to.
Yeah, we could do a
focus
whole
on.
fucking like week of podcasts based on interdimensional beings.
Yeah,
We have like the shadow people and apparently Bigfoot.
that would be a
And-
good.
A lot of
Other
UFOs are said to be
things.
interdimensional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this, that was like one of our theories before. Was just basically they're not traveling through space; they're just traveling through dimensions,
Yeah.
and they're like
Well,
in a different like
I mean, if you
evolution.
can actually travel through dimensions, it's a lot faster than traveling in space.
Yeah,
Right.
it's
right.
basically just go through the fucking wall, as
Yeah.
opposed to fucking going across fucking the map.
Yeah.
Billions of miles.
Yeah,
Exactly.
It's basically me going to the bathroom as opposed to me going to fucking New York City.
Yeah, walking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and then like we talked about with Skinwalker Ranch in that one episode, we were saying how there's all sorts of like weird, like it seems like dimensional kind of tear stuff going on.
I got
there.
it. I got it. Dark black pyramids are fucking
The
anchor points for
portals.
dimensional travels.
Ooh,
fucking anchor
maybe they're
points.
powering the dimensional
And
travel
the Sasquatch is protected.
devices and stuff. Yeah.
The ancient pyramids were the first anchor points, but then they fucking
Dude.
found a better material.
What if there is a black pyramid like underneath some of the forests and stuff that we have? You know, it's not.
Oh,
like
I
we're
thought
ever
you were
find
gonna
it.
say Skinwalker Ranch. I was gonna say I said that a fucking
Oh,
1,000 times
No,
already.
no, I know that. Oh my god, what if there's a black pyramid under Skinwalker Ranch? What?
What? Wait, is
What
it
if
black
those
pyramid or dark
large-
pyramid? I keep on
dark
reading what they're
I don't
pyramids.
know.
It's a dark
Dark
pyramid, but
pyramids.
Dark
What if
pyramid,
those
yeah.
large dark pyramids are powering like portable dark pyramids, like little?
That's
No,
what.
it's-
That's how I imagine it. I imagine
Like
that.
say you got like a dark portal clone box, and you push the
Yeah.
button, and you get to go to your dimension, and
That's what I
all of
think.
them are being powered by dark pyramids that are set all around the Earth.
That's what I think. Maybe there's these dark pyramids that are powering the dimensional travel like units or boxes or whatever devices and stuff. And the Sasquatch probably have these devices. And
Because they're part of the Men in Black.
yes,
Mhm.
maybe it's a chip or something that's implanted in them, right? It could be some kind of thing that's
Like the
implanted
Star
inside
Trek
them.
thing, they tap their chest twice and they go to
Yeah.
the new dimension.
Right. And so then, like, that's why you can't see them half the time, or
Beat me
maybe
away.
they're blurry because they're like phasing in and out of, not in and out of existence, but in and out of our dimension, you know, right where we're at. And so, yeah, that could make sense. That could be cool.
It could make sense.
I mean, that's good camouflage if you're
Magic.
always blurry to people.
Right.
Sit still and fucking people are just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, because people,
Huh?
they would
People
know
aren't that observant
something's there,
anyways,
but,
so-
right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so,
Like, is that a Bigfoot or a log? I can't tell. It's blurry.
yeah, so anyways, I thought that would be kind of a fun episode to talk about Bigfoot a bit. We're at about...
Well, we
good
should
theory.
do it. Let's talk about Bigfoot. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Start
Oh,
round
that
two.
was a fun episode.
yeah. Well, okay,
Sorry,
so
it's woke up.
what are your thoughts on Bigfoot? What do you guys think about
What is our
Bigfoot
time?
then?
47 minutes. All right, we're good.
Yeah. We'll just round it out.
We already gave our thoughts on them. I didn't hear Mike's thoughts.
Do you think Bigfoot's
I said
real?
fucking it's a missing link Neanderthal tribe. I don't know. Probably
I think
I want to believe, but
It's
I
like,
need more evidence.
ancestral memory from like gigantic, like you were saying, and there's not a lot.
I
of
need to be
physical
on this
evidence.
team that's making fucking 100,000 a fucking year.
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. I know. Hey, we should just start our own team. We got 3 people right here. We can be the principal investigators.
we just need to find a sponsor. So
We need someone to sponsor, fork over the.
They
you
should
know,
get some of those
3
people. Have you
million.
ever heard that Bigfoot porn is like a big thing, like the books?
No,
on
I don't even
Amazon?
know what that is. What is
Joe
that?
Rogan was talking about how people write like stories.
Oh,
about
erotic
Bigfoot.
fiction?
Yeah, erotic fiction with Bigfoot, and they're like a big thing on Amazon.
What? I didn't know that was a thing.
They're like one of the best stories on
Yeah.
Amazon. What if you had
Like my
every time you
fridge.
sold a Bigfoot erotic fiction, you had to chip into the fund to find Bigfoot? So
Oh my
Yeah.
god! I didn't know that was a thing.
that
That's
way
funny.
they can
All
get
right, so
sponsored.
we have AI
so somebody-
write us some erotic
somebody write
fiction
some
for
erotic-
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot porn and then we'll
You mean this guy right here, this Patty? People are thinking about Patty like banging
They
them.
actually go for the male Bigfoots, but
Okay.
Yeah,
usually
yeah,
it's a
yeah.
female
They're
Well,
like
gets
hung,
kidnapped
fucking
and then
giant. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
they fall in
yeah.
love. You know how it goes. But anyway,
Yeah.
so it's a
Okay.
big
They have
thing.
some
But say they had
weird
to chip in to, every time they sold a
fucking.
Bigfoot Amazon porn book to the fund.
There's
to
a
find
lot of
Bigfoot.
quote unquote monster fuckers out there, and I'm pretty sure Bigfoot counts as one of the monsters.
He would
Ever
count.
since The Shape of Water, fucking just
Oh my God,
skyrocketed.
true. Yeah.
Like, oh, I don't want to fuck a monster. It's like, what? It's like that story about the like, do you want to run into a fucking bear or a fucking man in the woods? Like, I want to run into that bear.
I mean, I
You'd
don't.
rather run into Bigfoot or a man in the woods? I want to run into Bigfoot and have him fucking.
I think
Have
that's
his way with me.
I think that exactly. There you go. Okay, Mike. So, what do you think? Are you convinced? Do you think Bigfoot's real? Do you not think there's enough evidence?
There's not enough evidence. I mean, all we have is secondhand stories and some evidence that could be easily faked. If
There's
you
so
have the
much shit that
knowledge.
just basically like I have to see it for myself to actually.
I
Accept
think
it.
there was a creature before that we remember back then, so we have the idea already in our in our heads.
Yeah.
So it's
Like,
easier to believe about it, but
like
I mean, it
ghosts.
makes for nice stories. But until I actually see one walking down the street, I'm not going to say.
I
that.
always like wanted to believe in
Yeah.
ghosts, but it's just like I haven't seen anything that's fucking ghost like. So I was like, no.
It's just too easy to fake. I mean, there's just not. I mean, bring me a body. That's all you gotta say.
Yeah. So it's the same thing with ghosts. Your fucking head says fucking shit all the fucking time.
Yeah. I think that's where
It's
I'm
like,
at too.
hey, you want to hear what a door sounds like when it slams randomly in the middle of the night? I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah. No, I think that's where I'm
I
at too.
got
'Cause
you.
you do have some good evidence, like the footprints and stuff like that, the footprint casts and whatnot. But where's the hair?
But then you have people that
Where's
fake it, and there's
the-
fucking. Oh, there's hair fucking evidence too, but that
Yeah, but none
It's just
that's
like-
been
But
like
it always comes
They
up really
resulted in-
exclusive
there's
because
no-
they don't have
there's nothing weird
anything to
about it.
compare it to.
right.
Well, I mean,
It's
compared
like-
to humans, it's not. I mean, it's
Yeah.
animal. It's either animal or human.
Yes. Yeah, that's
No
that's
animal
basically
or
what I
human.
can do. Yeah.
I'll
Unknown
also
animal
say,
or human.
like, I was gonna bring this up because but I forgot about it. My grandparents, they've got a property, and we went up there one time, and it's
You
up
saw
in the...
Bigfoot? Why didn't you start the story
No.
with that?
Didn't
Did
find
Bigfoot take you in the
Bigfoot.
forest to have his way with you? You can tell us.
Oh,
I didn't want to talk about that on the
Is that your
episode,
erotic fan fiction that you
You got the perfect
wrote?
foot right there. Go. No.
I don't need the erotic
Oh.
fan fiction if it happened to me. Jeez, I just
Yes, I
memorize
mean,
it.
Write the story down so it's
The
selling.
LGBT crowd needs the story too, Tyson.
Oh, man.
You have no
Tyson.
Bigfoot
It'll be so
is
popular.
in your grandparents, and then finding Bigfoots in the woods, and he takes you out and ravages you, and it's
This episode would have been a
Really
whole lot
fall
different
off.
if that happened to me. I promise you that. No, but what I was going to say is that we went up there one time and we're walking around. It's just me and my family. And there is kind of like a clearing area where there were all these bones, like all over. And they were horses that apparently had gotten free or gotten loose or something from somebody, and they just ran off, and apparently they never found them, and they just ended up passing away up there. But the reason I bring that up is it's like, okay, where's the bones of these Bigfoots and stuff? Because bones don't, like, yeah, you can kind of theoretically say, oh yeah, but scavengers would take them and stuff. But there are definitely instances where bones just sit up there. Like, and they
Yeah.
stay up there. And because I've gone up to the property, for several years at this point, there's still bones up there. There's still bones of these horses,
yeah.
Like, if Bigfoot were real, and if they were living, among us, out in the forest and whatnot, and they're still active, they're not just, they're not extinct or anything, then we would still expect to see remains here and there, or like a bone here and there. It wouldn't just be freaking like a full corpse. But
Sorry you haven't found any Bigfoot bones next to your grandparents' house because they're fucking.
no, I mean, I'm
That's
not.
a hot spot for Bigfoot.
Yeah, what the hell? That's why we go up there.
Bigfoots.
No, but
What is
not talking about
what is
me.
a herd of Bigfoots called? A trample?
A
trap full of
big,
Bigfoot?
a big feet. It's a big feet.
A Foot Locker.
But
Yeah.
I mean, if they were around and you got all these shows like you guys used to watch, and they always hear noises and they always hear things, but they get so close and they never find them. I mean,
Yeah.
how do they always get away?
Yeah.
Well, but then it makes me
It's
think
always
about.
just these
I mean,
always
unless
makes
they're
me-
interdimensional, that's the only result. I mean, they either
the
have
cursed
magic.
island of the Oak Island things. Like they always find just a little tiny piece of
just
the
to tease
treasure
it, just to
that's
keep you
fucking
going back for
stolen.
the next show. But
Yeah, they need something just to get you to go back to
Go
the
out
next
there with
It's
episode.
a
like
SWAT
basically how the
team.
whole thing is. Like the whole season, they don't find anything, and then like the season finale, they're like, "Look at this one piece of gold. We're getting close." They're like, "Coming
we
in for
found
next
this piece
season."
of shit in
Yeah,
the forest.
exactly. Yeah.
Stay for the next season.
It's basically like that show of Finding Hitler or Hunting Hitler. Like they always get so close, and it's just like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
yeah.
But then again, it's like one of the other episodes that we had where we talked about we were talking about alien documentaries or shows or whatever, and things that it might have been the Men in Black episode, but we're talking about things that don't come out because maybe they did find something, right? Like I can imagine if you do find something and the government doesn't want the public to know about it, they're not going to let you put out a freaking show on Netflix. Like, you know what I mean? Or they're not going to let you televise a season where you're going to expose something that they don't want you to expose. Like,
That's what I always thought about, like those Bigfoot shows or shows like that, where it's like they're trying to find evidence. It's like, you guys aren't gonna find anything because there would be something on the news way before the show even aired that you
Yeah.
fucking found Bigfoot or something.
I would hope so anyways, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Like no, keep
Anyways.
it secret till the show's done. It's like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Well, maybe their thought process is, look, we can't be public about it because we can't even report our results back to like the what's the freaking agency, National Science Institute or whatever.
Or what if
Like,
they actually like are finding all this good evidence, but the government comes in and they can just like,
they
fucking
sweep the
redact a whole
scene
bunch
or-
of shit. And
or
there's
maybe-
like,
Wipe
we can only show
everybody's
this.
memory and they forget they sell anything. They're like, oh.
Maybe during the hiring process or whatever, like they're hiring people and the freaking government's like, all right, we got to
They get censored. Like they have like a
Yeah.
fucking heat image of like Bigfoot walking down the middle, and they're like, "No, you can't use that. Just use the
And
little
then-
part where he's like peeking behind the tree. That's all you can do."
Yeah. Or
just
you
gotta
got
use it.
yeah, or maybe you got somebody there that kind of fudges with the like focus of the camera or something,
Mhm.
and like it could be something like that too, but I don't know. Long story short, I feel like if there was things that were discovered and somebody with a lot of power and authority and whatnot didn't want you to expose it, they would find a way of not getting you to expose it. But anyways, to conclude where we're at, I think kind of I'm with you guys. I feel like there's just not enough evidence for Bigfoot. There's some good evidence, but if we're really looking for a bipedal giant freaking 7 to 9 foot tall creature out in the forest, and there's got to be enough of them for them to keep reproducing and stuff, then we would expect to find a lot more evidence, especially because we're pretty well aware of, at least here in North America, we're pretty well aware of what's in our forests and everything. Like, we're pretty good about that. It's not like the ocean or something where we haven't explored most of it. It's like, yeah, we pretty well explored most of the stuff here in the country. So
Yeah,
it's
It's gotta
like,
be what, thousands of trap cameras out in the forest and stuff like that.
right.
just-
You would expect to find way more evidence and a lot more different
I
kinds
feel
of
like
evidence.
with the ocean, they got deep, and then they started seeing how things got freakier and freakier, and they're like, we don't want to go any deeper.
Yeah, yeah. Like, you have to pay us a lot more money to go deeper. Yeah.
Did
No.
you hear like that one theory that there's like an ocean underneath the ocean? There's like a layer underneath the ocean that has another ocean inside of it.
That sounds kind of familiar. Does that have something to do with like the pressure differential or something, or like?
They said there's enough water to fill another ocean underneath the ocean, but it's actually all trapped in rocks. So
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Well,
Well, you
anyways.
just ruined my next show. God damn it! No,
Dang it.
we gotta find something else.
Well, I think we end the episode there. We're about
I'll
coming
just
up
do
on an hour.
Bigfoot. We
so-
didn't talk about him yet.
Oh yeah, no, Bigfoot's still on the table. So.
Yes.
No, but I think we could possibly have an episode where we just talk about the Bigfoot stories and stuff, because I didn't really go into those.
I think we just talked about how there's a big thing that he's an alien. They've actually seen, there's actual stories of Bigfoot's getting off of UFOs and walking around. And
Yeah. Well, how about this? If this episode does well, we'll do another episode on Bigfoot where we talk about Bigfoot as an alien, or let us know what you want us to talk about. Let us know what your theories are. Let us
is
know.
Bigfoot an alien, interdimensional being?
Or is he a cryptid? Is he like an actual cryptid? You know?
Chaos
Is anybody even listening to us?
Is anybody out there? No, but
There's only one person in chat, and it's me. And it's
we like listening to ourselves. It's fun anyway. So
yeah, no.
This show's mostly for us.
That's
what
not
else can you talk about? The brown tone and you know,
exactly.
Bigfoot porn.
Just wait till the
Bigfoot,
till our Bigfoot T-shirt and Bigfoot porn comes out. About
Exactly.
Tyson visiting
Full-grown
grandparents.
I think this is his
Full-grown pizza
bibliography
podcast, like fanfic porn.
biography about
Oh my
on
god.
his way with the Bigfoot in the forest. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's tell if it's a male or female. Yeah, we'll figure that out when we read the book.
His book will be titled "My Rump Through the Woods."
Okay.
One night in Utah.
All right. Okay. Anyways, if you watch this now, or if you watch this later, she came by.
Patreon to buy the book.
Yeah, I read that book too. So
Yeah.
a lot of stories you guys are right there.
I made sure to document that experience so we could, make some material on it.
That. You just sell it on that. Like,
Yeah, exactly. We have that on a different website. No, just kidding.
the Men in Black are going to censor that, so you gotta watch it.
Oh man, you're right. I better shut up. All right, before we
They
get
censored our last episode.
before
you
we
guys are talking
get
too much about the blondes.
yeah, exactly. Before we get canceled, we're gonna end the episode there and say thank you guys for watching.
Yes.
If you're watching now, if you're watching later, we appreciate you. Make sure to hit the like, follow, and subscribe button. Hit the notification bell so you know when we go live.
And leave us a comment.
Yes.
Leave us a comment.
Leave comments.
And we
Let us
already
know.
did
What do you
buy me a
think?
coffee
What do you
thing
think
going,
about
so
Bigfoot? Do you think he's
you guys
real?
can
Do you
help
think he's a fucking alien? Do you think
Yeah, what's
he's
your theory?
a Neanderthal? Which one of our theories do you agree with?
Do
Or
you have any Browntown stories about Bigfoot?
Yes. When did Bigfoot make you shit your pants?
how many
Has he ever had his way with you?
Supremes have you eaten today?
Yeah.
Did
Well-
you have Taco Bell before that?
Here's the big thing that I want to know.
Do you
too.
want Taco Bell now? Since we talked about Taco Bell so much,
Here's-
and will Taco Bell sponsor us?
And we're not sponsored by
Hashtag
Taco Bell.
Taco Bell.
We are not sponsored by Taco Bell, but I would
Taco
like
Bell
to be.
probably doesn't want anything related to this because he keeps
I
talking
will
about
eat a
getting shit.
burrito on live.
All
on
right,
stream.
all right,
I don't care.
all right. This is all talk for after the podcast. We need to end the
Okay.
podcast. Okay.
Also,
So
follow me and Tyson on Twitch.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
at Barbaric Beard, and I am Skeletor84. We play games.
barbaric.
Basically, that we don't. Yeah.
Barbaric _ beard, by the way, because apparently it
Barbaric
doesn't let
_
you like find me if you don't do that. So
Yeah.
okay.
I told him he should change his name, but he doesn't want to. I said,
I do want to, but I'd have to change all my stuff. It kind of sucks. Anyways, all right, we're gonna wrap it up there. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good one. We will see you next week when we talk about something else.
Yeah. Probably the
Oh,
Green Children or something.
the green chilies. All right.
Green chilies.